Hey, how's it going out there, everyone? Time for another episode or volume of Check This Out. I will be your host. And today, I've got a stack of stuff I want you to check out. 2 tapes, 3 CDs, 3 records, and then I'm going to keep doing what I started with the last episode. I'm just going to pick like a random pick that I've been listening to a lot lately. Because a lot of this stuff is relatively new, so just throw something random in there too. Why not? First up, Druid Lord with Grotesque Offerings. This just came out on cassette via Hell's Headbangers. Some really, really awesome doomy death metal type shit. I believe from Florida. Could be mistaken on that. I didn't really do my homework before talking about this one. Comparatively, I wasn't incredibly stoked on the newest Acid Witch album, Evil Sound Screamers. I thought it was kind of lackluster. But this one from Druid Lord really kind of scratched that itch for me, that whole death, doom vibe with a lot of horror influence. Tracks on here like Black Candle Seance, Creature Feature, Final Resting Place, the closing track, really gave me, what I was lacking with that Acid Witch record. So, that's just a comparison. I think that this stuff is really, really solid. Druid Lord, I believe, has another full length that came out like a while ago. So this is, them getting back into the groove. CDs and LPs are up for pre-order now on Hell's Headbangers. So if you're interested, check that out. This just reissued by Headsplit Records, Infestor, To the Depths and Degradation. Now, Infestor only had like a demo and then this full length before splitting up. From Seattle, Washington. This came out around like 94, I want to say. And this is some really cult shit when it comes to death metal, man. This is some of the most vile, nasty shit you will ever fucking hear when it comes to death metal. I mean, you can do all sorts of comparisons from bands like Rotravor, Autopsy, Incantation, but there really was never a band quite like Infestor. It's a shame that they only put out really, the demo and then this full length. Would have been incredible to see what came out of a project like this. The drummer of this band went on to form Ritual Chamber, which is a recent project. He does everything for that. So definitely check out Ritual Chamber if you like Infestor. Awesome fucking death metal band. I can't get over how fucking good that is. Time for some Druid. I never knew how to pronounce this fucking band's name. And I'm gonna butcher the title of this because it's all in Ukrainian. Sometimes they see dreams of spring, something along those lines. Anyways, this is their newest album. It came out just this past week, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago on Season of Mist. Ukrainian black metal. As far as the rest of their catalog goes, this falls right in line. I do not think that this is their best album. There's other albums by Druid that I like much, much better. To me, this is kind of background noise, but in a good way, where I can put it on. It's on in the background. I'm not really paying attention to it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not disliking it, certainly. I've been falling asleep to it lately, which is a good thing. As always, I like falling asleep to good music. The one thing I will say about this is that the songs, there's 5 tracks, and that they do tend to blend together. Now, sometimes that's a good thing. Take a band like Revenge, where their onslaught is just, from beginning to end, nonstop, in your face, fucking blasphemous, bestial black metal. When it comes to something like this, it's not too aggressive. It's a little more, I don't want to say soft, but I can't think of something off the top of my head that suits it better right now. But it's a little more soothing. It's not as caustic. There's little variation, I find, in the riffs, and there's not a whole lot of stopping points where they let these songs breathe. So, you know, I will say that in criticism of this record, but otherwise, I think it's pretty solid. Definitely worth listening to, especially if you like the rest of their albums. Another new one from 2018. This is Dirac Sea with Where All Hope Fades. Death metal band from Spain, put out on Dark Descent Records. Surprise, surprise, I bought something from Dark Descent, but it's 6 tracks. 2 of the tracks are over the 10-minute mark, so it's long. It's got some really doomy passages. These songs are incredibly well structured. Never a dull moment, despite some of the longer track lengths. And I gotta give a shout out to Pete the Guttural Monk for showing off this one in one of his updates. I'm sure I would have gotten to it eventually, but hearing him have good things to say about this, definitely, it was like, okay, enough fucking around. I gotta go out and get this. And I'm really glad I did, because it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. Dirac Sea from Spain, Where All Hope Fades. And then Jarn from Germany, he works with Partisan Open Air, and he also works with Regain Records and War Anthem Records. Contacted me, said he wanted to send me some music. He sent me 4 CDs, and my favorite out of the bunch by far was this album by Ballmoog called Vacuum. It is a black metal album. Ballmoog are from Spain, and as far as this sounds regionally, I would tend to say it sounds a little bit more like some Swedish stuff, like, say, Watain or Marduk. But there's also a definite Icelandic feel on this. Bands like Sinmara or Svarti Dowdy definitely comes through on this. The influences, to me, ranged a little bit all over the place, which was awesome because it became kind of a unique listen because there was a little bit of something, from all over peppered in there. Another band that it reminded me of a lot was Devouring Star from Finland. Excellent album. I believe this is their 3rd full-length album. I would definitely recommend checking out Ballmoog, and if you do, start with this album, Vacuum, out on War Anthem Records. Thank you, John, for sending me some cool shit. Next, we'll move on to Faceless Burial. This is Grotesque Miscreation. These guys are from Down Under, Australia. Let's see. Iron Lung Records, 2017. Label I'm not familiar with, but this I'd seen pop up a little bit here and there. Amazingly enough, I found this at the record store that I frequent, Vintage Vinyl Records here in New Jersey. I was shocked to see this because their metal selection has gone downhill in the past couple of years, and they really don't carry a lot of what I would call obscure death and black metal type stuff. But this is an incredible death metal record. I definitely feel like it flew under the radar, especially if I didn't pick up onto it until now, because normally I'm on top of that shit. But yeah, fucking amazing front cover artwork too. It's an intro, and then 9 songs. So you got 10 tracks on here. Solid full length. I believe that this is the first full length from Faceless Burial. They're a trio. A really, really great death metal band from Australia. Check that one out. And then moving to Norway with Condor, Unstoppable Power. This is some black thrashing fucking madness. I definitely listened to this last year when it came out, and every time it kept popping up on distros that I frequent, it would sell out before I could get around to purchasing it, which was always a bummer. But I believe this is like the 3rd press now. I got from High Roller Records, bone white vinyl. If you remember me talking about Purple Hill Witch, that doom metal band from Norway, members of Condor are in Purple Hill Witch as well, which is, you know, pretty awesome that a black thrash band like this, you know, some of those guys can be that diverse and also play in an amazing doom metal project. Favorite tracks on here, absolutely the first track, Embraced by the Evil, and the title track, Unstoppable Power. Really, really awesome shit. If you like stuff like Deathhammer or NARR, you're going to like Condor for sure. And one of my favorite records of 2018 so far, I'm talking top 10, possibly top 5 shit. NARR. This is Mysterium Tremendum, and yes, the jacket is beat to shit. I was so upset. I knew immediately once I saw what kind of condition the package was in. I was like, oh god, these records are gonna be fucked. And sure enough, the jackets were. Fortunately, the record itself is in, you know, mint condition. But yeah, as a collector and just an overall like organized kind of neat freak, seeing shit like this really gets on my nerves. But yeah. Anyways, this is black metal from Austria. I believe all of the lyrics and song titles are in German. I believe they speak German in Austria. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to come off as an ignorant American. But yeah, this is like the third or fourth full length from NARR, and it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to struggle to find words to, you know, make you appreciate this album as much as I do. I think you're better off just going and listening to it. If you're a fan of black metal in any capacity, I don't care if you like folk kind of stuff, I don't care if you like the really raw stuff, I don't care if you like melodic or, you know, symphonic shit. I think that any fan of black metal will have something to enjoy here on this album. Definitely plan on seeing it high up on my year-end list. I know it's only March, but it's that good. It really is. So, stoked to talk about that one. Stoked to show that one off. And then finally, for the random pick in this here video, Demigod, Slumber of Sullen Eyes. This is a reissue on Extreme Records. Absolutely one of the best old school death metal bands you will ever hear. Well, I shouldn't say band, I should say record, because this band broke up and then reunited, and I haven't even listened to any of their newer stuff because I don't have to, because Slumber of Sullen Eyes exists. Finnish death metal, insane how much good shit comes out of Finland. I mean, I can make an entire video devoted to all of the great bands and records to come out of Finland, but right now I'm just talking about Demigod. Actually, there's like a 24-second intro on here called Apocryphal, and it's like kind of just keyboards and, you know, like an eerie sound, but I love how it sets the tone for this record. You know, sometimes it's just little things like that stick out to you, and that little tiny intro really, you know, I love it for some reason. And As I Behold, I Despise goes right into that. Then you have The Forlorn, Tears of God, Slumber of Sullen Eyes, and oh my god, fucking Demigod, Slumber of Sullen Eyes. I feel like this one is kind of a gem. You know, a lot of people do know about it, but I feel like it still doesn't get the credit that it deserves. But definitely, if you're into death metal, you gotta know it. Yeah, so that's it for this episode of Check This Out. As always, thank you for tuning in and watching these videos, continuing to like and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. And until the next time, take care.